Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Software Testing. My name is Knott and I'm happy that you're here. Today's video is about the best bug that you ever found or that I found. And maybe you think, like, why is he talking about the best bug? I mean, nobody should count bugs and should derive metrics from that, right? But I mean, I have worked in the software testing industry and I'm still working in the software testing industry for almost 15 years now. And of course I have found bugs, hundreds, if not thousands of bugs, issues, weird situations and so forth. And I bet all of us or all of you out there, you have like one of the, let's say 1, 2, 3 issues that stick to your mind basically. And it's the same for me. And the reason why I recorded that video for you today is because usually I ask that question in interviews, because I also got asked myself that question the first time in 2010, or was it 9? I don't know, when I had my very first official software testing interview in the company, and there was like one guy, hey Tobias, asking me that question, like, what was the funniest and best bug? And it started something in my mind, because I haven't thought about that question in an interview, right? Like, what a weird question, but it's not actually a weird one. It's actually a really great question to ask in an interview. And if you are on the hiring side of things, ask the question and see how the person reacts on the other side. If he or she has to share a story and has something in mind. And that's also the idea why I created that video basically, is I would like to know what's your best bug that you ever found. Maybe you have a ranking of things that you have found, and I would like to share my bugs that I'm not proud of or anything like that, but things that were sticking to my mind basically. And I picked 3 of them for you today, because of course I cannot remember all of them. And also for you out there working in the testing industry or in the software development industry, and you have a mindset for quality, you have this, I call it bug magnet syndrome. I mean, there's also something on Twitter going on, that hashtag bug magnet. And so people that have like the quality in their mind and look for issues, they find these topics very often, right? I mean, browsing the internet, going on e-commerce websites, in the daily life of things, we see issues others might not see. And it's the same for me. Even my wife's thinking, oh yeah, it's your quality mind again, right? Nobody would notice it, but how would you ever come to that situation? Why are you doing this and that, and then find issues? So that's kind of my mindset, to dig deeper into things, to learn about technology, learn about how a machine is working or a product. And then I ask myself questions like, why is it like that? And why is it not the other way around? And things like that. So that's what I call the bug matrix syndrome basically. And yeah, and in this video I would like to share my 3 most funniest bugs, not critical, but things that kept to stick to my mind. And also because there's usually a funny story behind it, and that's what usually counts for me. And maybe for you these bugs are like, that's a no-brainer, nothing is going to happen, right? But they're still in my mind, so I would like to share them with you. Sorry for the little interruption. It's sponsor time. I would like to thank you PlusQA for being the main sponsor of today's video. PlusQA has a great mission: make software testing simple. PlusQA helps organizations of all sizes and from different industries with software quality assurance, from manual testing to test automation on different devices and browser combinations. Customers just don't have to worry about their quality anymore. PlusQA testers can check your application in different aspects and layers of the tech stack, from functional to non-functional testing, compatibility testing, API testing, test automation, payment testing, managed service, just to name a few. PlusQA can easily scale up teams of testers to keep the testing processes for their customers lean and simple. The own internal test management system, Test Platform, is supporting the project in all phases of the software development cycle. Customers can access Test Platform to see the testing progress and to get an idea about the current state of their own product quality. The own in-house device lab with more than 500 devices offers the PlusQA testers a large variety of real devices to check for different hard and software combinations. So no matter which technology you are using for your product, PlusQA offers solutions for e-commerce applications, mobile applications and web applications, IoT or VR and AR projects. There's everything covered from the PlusQA team. Next to all the functional testing, PlusQA has a strong focus on non-functional testing, like accessibility testing. With real experts, PlusQA can check your product against the latest accessibility requirements. So go and check out the website of PlusQA to learn all about the company and the services they offer. Check the video description for links. And now back to the main video. So the number one bug that I brought for you today is basically I once killed the staging system. Yes, kind of funny, kind of not funny, because the system that back then in the company I was working on was relying on a database, yeah, and an API, and then the backend and front end, and we were building an image upload. And maybe you have already something in mind, like what can possibly go wrong, right? And that's also what I did. I asked the developers, because there was nothing in the ticket saying their image upload should be there, something like that. And we were supporting different files like JPEG, PNG, and so forth. But there was no limitation of file size and anything like that. And I asked the question like, hey, what's the limit of the file size? And I was like, nah, nothing. Nobody will upload big files and nothing will go wrong and these kind of topics. Okay. What is the tester doing actually? Of course, I was uploading, I think I generated a big image. I don't know if it was a gigabyte or even more of storage capacity, and I uploaded it. Luckily also only on our staging system, because the product wasn't live yet. So I ticked the box and it was running. The loading indicator was running and running. I was like, okay, let's go for lunch. I came back after lunch, and then the developers was waiting at my desk like, hey, what are you doing? It's like, I'm testing. I don't know what's wrong with you. It's like, you killed the complete staging system. It's like, why? What did I do? I just uploaded an image. But that's too big. How can you upload such a big image? It's like, well, I just tested it. I just did what a user might do. It's like, and then of course they had to stop everything. The staging system was basically DDoS because it couldn't handle the load. And then they found out that they did something wrong in the implementation, not only from the capacity limit or the uploading image, but also from the actual implementation, how they handle these kind of topics. And yes, he was pissed at me at that moment, and also a lot of other people were pissed at me because I killed the whole staging system for, I think, at least a day. But it saved us, I guess, a lot of money. Imagine this would be happening on the live system. Somebody's uploading a file, and it only needs to be like 1 byte bigger than the actual implementation could handle, and the whole system would break down. So they were pissed at me. I was happy. Of course, I was not telling them, but in the end, we added a limitation of uploading size. So we did some research, and then we limited, and then all went well, basically. But that's something that stick to my mind. The second bug that I found basically by accident is I found a nice UI issue. So we were implementing some loading states in an app, and I think it was iOS or Android, I can't remember. It was an app, a native app, and we implemented some new design of loading spinners. And it was like a circle, like circling and loading, indicating there's something to happen. And I had, like always, the latest build on my phone for testing. And I don't know, I think it was in a meeting, and sometimes meetings tend to be bored, right? Or like get boring. And I was just like doing landscape rotation, just like, I don't know. It was just like I was used to it, and I noticed that the app was still running. I was like, okay, let's rotate, let's see what's going to happen. And then after some time, I was checking, and the circle loading indicator became an egg. It was like really funny. It looked really funny, and of course that's not a critical topic. It's rather an edge case, right? But it was funny to see, because also the developers did something wrong in the way they were calculating the circle on the orientation change. And so we found a bug, not a minor one, not a major one. It was a minor one, but we fixed it. We all had our time in the office. We're laughing about a topic, a funny thing that stick to my mind, because it was a great moment of fun in the team, because we were laughing as, hey, this is funny. Let's keep it like that. That's an Easter egg, and these kind of topics. Yeah, something that stick to my mind. And the last one, is also something that I found basically just before go live. And I don't know why I really found it, because I was doing some regression testing on our native app as well, and we were changing in the settings of the app, like deep down where no user will ever go to. We changed the native views, like the native setting views, to web views. So like imprint, like terms and conditions and all those kind of topics, to not do an app update when we would like to change something on that sections, but rather show a mobile optimized web page. Yeah, and not a big topic to test, right? We should just how like the content, if everything is displayed in the correct way, and these kind of topics. And but then before actually I think we were doing like, this was on iOS, was a pending developer release, and we were I was doing some last quick checks. I mean, we could already hit the go live button, and I was just like going around, tapping here and tapping there, checking the web views, and then I was like, what is going on here? Because I tapped on the imprint, and the web view was rendered, and it wasn't our imprint. Nope, it was the one from Apple. It's like, why? What's going on here? Why do we show Apple imprint on our product imprint page? It's like, stop, please do not push that button of the go live. And then we were talking to developers. I was talking to developers, and they told me like, and then like there was one developer, and if you listen to that video or watch the video, you know who I'm talking to. Not saying a name now. we had also so much fun while digging into that topic, and yeah, we found out that this person used the Apple imprint as basically a test URL, because he was kind of bored of putting the real imprint, and this should only happen on the staging system, but before we switched to the production system, and he just forgot to replace the URL. And also in the review process, nobody has seen it, which was bad basically, but luckily we found it. I don't know what would be happened in case we would add the Apple imprint to the product. Could be like a big like, not shitstorm, but it could be like a potential legal topic that we could face, right? And so luckily I found this one as well, and we were, of course, we're not rolling out, we were fixing it, and then do again the like whole Apple review process of things. And also Apple hasn't seen it, so that's also the fun part, right? So these are three topics that stick to my mind in the recent years when working in the software testing industry. And yeah, that's what I would like to share with you today. And it would be really, really cool if you could share also your best bug, your funniest one, in the comments below, or in another video, or in a blog post. So maybe we can start like a little community activity, right? Let's share our funniest moments, best bugs, situations that we found, that we have, that the experience that we made basically in our daily lives. Software testers, developers, product managers, or scrum masters, or agile coaches. But one thing that I would like to mention here, again, I mentioned it already at the beginning, is never count bugs. Like how many bugs have been found in a release or in an app, or and don't create KPIs, metrics out of it, because that's totally wrong. I mean, we all know that software isn't perfect. There's always something that's going wrong. There's always something that users will find, and software is never free of issues and bugs. So take this for granted and enjoy what you're doing, and find, of course, as many bugs, issues that you can potentially find, but of course don't overdo it. There's always a moment in time where you have to say, okay, we're done testing for today, let's continue tomorrow, but let's ship that release and give it to our users, right? And yeah, and with that, I hope you liked the video. Leave a thumbs up, leave a subscription as always. I'm happy that you are listening and watching to my YouTube channel. See you next time. Bye bye.